manage rentals. As the first thing I always check is the water.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Hey,
everybody.
we're live.
We're
Sorry
live.
for being late. I got a leaky water heater.
Yeah, that's if you ever have property, that's the first thing you always check. You check the water heater
I
because
lived here for several years, so
yeah, even when you moved in, I always check the water heater. If it's not up to code and not up to my standards, I'll rip it out at my cost and bill the landlord.
yeah.
Because I used to be a landlord for 3 properties and I was down pat on everything. Also, I got ripped off a lot too. But
These
the
guys, they
big,
take pretty good care of me. I've been in here for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now.
yeah,
Ever since I came to Washington or to Nebraska from Washington,
yeah,
and all I do is call them up and say, "Hey, this is not working right." Boom, they're here the same day.
my biggest headache is one of my business partners says, "Why can't we rent out to Section 8?" I have a rule: married couples, elderly, and whatchamacallit, a military person. Those are the three I rent out to. I don't rent out to Section 8 people with certain, you know, or I've been in prison for 40 years for raping goats. No, because I learned the hard way because you're responsible. Find out, oh, he's keeping dead people in his closet and you're the landlord and you don't understand that. And if you have to rent it again, you have to tell the occupants, well, it was used by a little old lady who killed cats and hanged children from her
It sounds like
rafters.
you've had some bad problems.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, Carol.
Let's see.
Kaylin, I wish these were my preps. If I had all this, I wouldn't be planting a garden because that'd be 10 years worth of food supply for me.
You'll still be planting a garden. Half that stuff will rot out your guts.
Let's see who's in here. Get my eyes working right. Oh, Gil's here. Hi, Gil.
Whoops, that's me. Sorry. Let me
And we
adjust
got
this.
Uncle Al. We got Kaylin. Michael 58. How are you
Yeah,
doing,
we got
sir?
Carol.
And Carol. All right. Welcome to everybody. And Fishes and Loaves just uh, walked in as well.
That's
Yeah.
Carol.
That's Carol. I finally stopped calling her Kathy.
Yeah. I almost couldn't make it. I was prepping soil for seedling pots.
You can make those out of newspaper.
Well, you can also do what my daughter did. She's been saving all her yogurt containers, the ones that are about this tall,
Yeah.
That big around. That she feeds the kids yogurt all the time. She's saved about 20 some odd of them, and she goes, "Here, can you fix this up for me?" So I drilled holes in the bottom, and I'm filling it full of. She gave me a bag of seasoned steer manure, or an actual steer was dairy cow manure, and so I've been mixing potting mix with it, running through the chipper shredder, little electric mulcher job, and making stuff for her.
I got it easy. I know origami, so I make little containers for my seedlings, and I just put it. My tomato seedlings are about this big. I'm not putting it into the ground until I get a soil temperature of 72. Did everybody watch Palmetto Prepared?
Mm-hmm.
That was a very good video, but I keep telling people you have to watch the weather, especially the Northeast and the East Coast. And right now, it missed Will. That big storm that's brewing in what's next to Illinois?
We're supposed to be getting some freezing temperatures. I've been watching it.
Yeah, it's going to bypass you. You're going to just get the edge of it. Everybody who's in the middle, it's going to be Snowmageddon Part 2.
Yeah.
Because we're placing odds. What's the state next to Illinois? Is it Iowa?
Oh, several of them, but
One west of the Mississippi.
West of the Mississippi, Ohio.
Yeah.
All
Is
right.
that west or east?
Indiana. Indiana is to the east. Missouri is to the west lower half. Iowa is to the west north half.
Ooh. Well, sorry about Missouri and Iowa.
That's Miss Kaylin's territory, Iowa.
Yeah. Do you have a bomb shelter? We're placing odds on snornadoes. You either get like, remember Will with the giant hailstones?
Yep, the snow-nados, yep.
Oh, because we're placing odds. The biggest odd is when the first hurricane hits the East Coast. And it's not a warm water hurricane coming out of the Atlantic near Africa. That's how they start. This one's coming off of Spain, which is really weird. Did you
Yeah.
see that one, Gil?
No, I didn't. I've been too busy watching the ones that trying to figure out the weather pattern around here.
Oh, you're gonna have whatchamacallit?
We got
Lights
rain.
in the-
We got
rain
rain this
and-
afternoon. Rain tonight until somewhere around about 1 a.m. in the morning. Then it turns to snow, and then snow until tomorrow until before noon, and then it turns to rain. But the temperatures, the low tonight is only 34.
Yeah.
So it should be melting as soon as it hits the ground, since the ground is getting nice and warm.
Right. Because it's going to be southeast Idaho, where me and my meteorology friends, southeast Idaho, and then most of Montana, because we're still trying to figure out that bit. It's a weird one. It's a weirdie. It's coming from Canada, central Canada, and it's coming from not the Pacific. It's coming from the Mississippi current, and that's usually a rare air current because nobody uses it.
Yeah. Well, actually, what's coming down through me right now is a little funky pigtail that's coming around. British Columbia is on the Pacific coast, right?
Right. It's the
Okay,
one
so
next to it.
It's coming around the one next to it, looping, then heading back west into. Right now, it's heading into Washington, dipping down into Oregon at let's see, 2 o'clock, and then it's shifting the whole thing is shifting a little bit east at 2 o'clock, and about 8 tonight, it's going to be dumping on Boise, and
So
then
it's either Alberta or shish kebab sauce.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so it's and it hangs there, but then it hits us about 4 o'clock in the morning is where it hits us, and then by noon, it's moving into Wyoming and heading across, and catching heading into Kansas by Tuesday, 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock midnight.
Sounds about right. I got to go, guys, for just a second. I hear my alarms are going off. Never be on battery bank. Interrupted power source.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like tonight the low is 34. Tomorrow night the low is 31, and it's clear. So when it clears up on Tuesday night, the cold air drops back down in. But then Wednesday, it's the low is 39. So Wednesday gets sunny and warm. It's warming up, and it's up and down, up and down, up and down. So yeah, probably somewhere around the 15th or so, we should start seeing very few freezes here. And then come May 1st, we should be good for not have to worry about it.
Spring's on the way.
Yeah, unfortunately, right now, Mother Nature is just trying to tease us. Here's some warmth. Oh, no, cold. Here's some warmth. Oh, no, cold. Oh, man. Yeah, there's my son-in-law bought this little, I don't know what to call it. I wasn't going to, I'll call it that anyways. Mickey Mouse chipper mulcher. I mean, it has a hole the way you can put things in about this big, so nothing bigger than really an inch of branches being stuck in it. And then you can put leaves and everything else in it. But I take the bags of potting soil from Home Depot and stuff, the ones that are organically done that don't have all the anti-fungus stuff in them. And they still have a lot of the wood is not all broken down because they're running it fast. They're making it quick, and they're not. They try to keep up with demand, so they can't let it sit for an extra 6 months like they should to let everything start really breaking down. So I'm getting splinter pieces in there, so I run it through that to break those up, and then I add a bag of the dairy cowgirl manure to it to help speed up the process and also allow the seedlings to have nutrients and stuff because the potting
That
mix
was a pretty good video Anthony put out.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm back.
A lot of your potting mixes now, the wood's not completely decomposed and everything.
Nope.
So it's sucking all the nitrogen out.
Yep.
Which using it for root plants, hey, that's not bad. You don't want all the green growth up above. You want the roots to grow, like for your daikon radishes, which I'm planting 12 of.
Oh, you're going to have fun.
Yeah, they're in the raised planter beds and a nice soft, so I can pull them out easy.
You know how big daikon gets, right?
Oh, about that big and 30 to 36 inches long.
In Japan, they call them backbreakers. That's why we grow carrots.
Yeah. But if I understand, we also understand that it takes 2 years for it to seed like an onion does.
Yes.
So
it has to overwinter. What
Yeah.
you do is you trim off the top, cover it with hay, and then next year it'll root out. And then, just like a radish, it'll produce fairly large seeds.
Yeah. We're hoping to for 9 of them, we're just going to put in the one and do that, winter it over, and try to use it just for collecting seeds next year.
Are you using there's about 60 different varieties. Which one are you using? American, or are you using Japanese, Korean, or Chinese, or Vietnamese?
It says it's from Baker's Creek, and it says Japanese daikon on it.
Okay. Baker's Creek, I trust. Because there's some places that sell you the wrong kind of daikon. That's a semi-tropical one. That one does not overwinter. It's a short, stubby one.
Yeah,
it's only about
this says 30 to 36 inches.
Froze again.
30 to 36 inches long. So what we're planning on doing is just for those 9, try to so we get our own seeds that are more acclimated to this area, and then we're going to start putting them out in the fields and stuff out there and just let it go. And then that way, like the goats and stuff can come in and munch on it or whatever.
Right.
Or if it's hunting season, the deer will come in there and we go, ooh, go time.
I'm going to take a break for a minute. You're in charge, Uncle.
Okay. Deer loves it. Goats love it. It's a great cattle feed too.
Yeah.
The nice thing about daikon, you're close to Washington, Oregon. If you grow like 5 acres, you can ship it to there and get your money back for your property, because daikon's a big seller in Seattle and Portland because they have large Asian communities, which are starting to leave Portland or Oregon because they're getting tired. Yeah. Especially when you watch your business burn down and you're not even a grocery store. These like doctors, lawyers.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a lot of relatives. They're saying they're fetting up. They're voting Republican next year.
I'm just reading Kaylin's comment. That's not a daikon. That's a baseball bat.
Hasn't.
Michael, officer, I didn't beat him with a baseball bat. All I have is some vegetables here.
No, I'm serious. People got killed in Japan with daikon fights because they were arguing or drunk, And what's your lethal weapon? They're beating each over the head with it.
And one of the things I've read up is that the daikon is milder than regular red radishes and stuff.
Yes. I
So-
know how to make it hotter.
No.
What are you going to do?
Nice and mild.
36 inches of really hot. You could pickle it. You could boil it. If you boil it, it comes out like texture like a potato.
Hey, Gavin.
And you could pickle it because I have several jars of it. And you could dry it. It's wonderful dry, and it's great when you dry it properly. It's a long-term cattle feed too. You could do about 60 things with daikon.
Gavin's in here, and
also you can make it as a food relish that you top on like pork, chicken. You mix shoyu and vinegar to it, and then you put it on bland tasting foods. Yeah, daikon's one of the main purpose foods in Japan because it's so useful and so many products you can use for it. You can use it.
I got a question. I want to answer a question here. Carol's asking, what is the safest mix then in the bag? Because I'm switching to more pots this year. All right, a friend of mine she lived up the street from us, and I've known her since I was 17. She retired 2 years ago as the head of the horticulture department at Diablo Valley College in California. She has 10 acres up there, and she grows stuff. She has an import license with the Department of Agriculture for bringing plants and stuff back from Australia and New Zealand and stuff like that. Anyways, she is death. I repeat, she is death on Miracle Grow, the stuff that'll kill you if you don't watch out.
Yep.
But anyways, what she told us to get was from Home Depot, was the Kellogg brand potting mix, because they don't use any of the fungicides in it, and basically it's just compost.
Right.
But the problem is there's been such a big, over the last year and a half, there's been such a big push for potting mixes and stuff. People trying to start their own gardens that like I said in the very beginning, it's not composting fast enough for them to hit, so they're shipping it out, where it still needs to compost a little bit longer, so you get pieces of woody stuff still in it. But
right.
if you're growing vegetables and stuff, you just you get that. You find a local dairy that sells off its manure, or a company that buys it from the dairies, and then you just mix some of the manure in with it, and especially if you get the bags that have sat for 6 months or so, where it's aged, where it's not going to burn your plants, and you do that.
Right. Uncle Han's old school. What I tell people every fall, go to 3 trees: your oak tree, your delicious tree. That's any kind of nut tree, like walnut, black walnut. I like a favorite of mine. And then pine needles. Run it through the lawnmower. Put that chopped up stuff in a 55-gallon plastic bucket. Drill holes on the bottom, and you make leaf mulch. Because I tell people this, and they look at me like, "Huh?" Leaf mulch. That's the dark matter you want. That's every tropical forest. You have that. Let it age, sit, and like Gil said, go to a dairy. Me, I prefer rabbit manure. I layer it with rabbit manure and decaying leaves, rabbit manure, decaying leaves, rabbit manure, and all the eggshells and dried bones that I grind up. I put a layer on that for calcium. And you know what happens? You have leaf mulch. Now, leaf mulch, you mix that with your regular potting soil, you'll have strong, healthy plants. You use the commercial stuff. Tell them what happened with the commercial stuff. Deal with Miracle Grow.
Miracle Grow is just, it's got basically the nutrients in it are all artificial chemicals. Since Will's not here to share this, let me take my camera here and move it around and show you what I got on the other one. This is the stuff I get from Home Depot, all natural raised bed and potting mix. So, that's the stuff that was recommended to us. And that's the stuff my wife's been using for years and years. And that's what I've been using up here too. And what's interesting is the soil here on the pH. The little test kit I get goes, 7 is where you're supposed to, is neutral. 6 to 6.5 is where, for most vegetables, you want it at, because that's where it pulls, almost the nutrients are. Well, it only goes up to 8 on the scale, and that's a dark green. When I tested the pH here around here, it was almost black. So it was way beyond 8, 9, 10, or whatever, because it goes up to 14. So when I tested some of the stuff I mixed last year in my 55-gallon tubs that I've cut in half, I went and tested it again this year, and it's probably between 6.5 and 7 on the pH scale. So it dropped it down from way up there down. And what I added to it was just some of the rabbit manure and about 2 parts dirt to 1 part of that Kellogg's potting mix, and it neutralized. As the stuff as the wood chip broke down and stuff, it lowered the pH.
Right. Another trick I use, natural, this is home brewed apple cider vinegar. If I have a big plot to do, there's 2 ingredients I like to use: spoiled milk like yogurt and apple cider vinegar. That adjusts my pH and also calcium levels, because a lot of people don't listen to calcium levels. That's why I tell people, put yogurt if you're doing root plants like carrots, like pumpkins. Pumpkin originally started as a rooting plant, but it went to more like a squash. And I keep telling people, and also if you're trying to change the sex on plants, it's easier with vegetables, harder with trees, because trees you have to manipulate. And then answer a question that Carol said on dairy poop. You can't use dairy poop in the South because they use BHT in their milk. So there's whatchamacallit, their dairy manure is whatchamacallit. You ever seen worse than tainted? You don't want to put it out in the fields, because we did that one time when we used BHT and we got the weirdest.
What's BHT?
It's growth bovine hormone. I forgot what the T stands for. It's a bovine hormone. I forget the T. Is it? No, I don't think. Yeah, it could be therapy. It's supposed to produce more milk in the cows and help them regenerate. But we had difficulties, and also we had cancer in our cows, so we quit using it. Because anything, well, they don't tell you, but you read on the side of the milk carton, what the hell is BHT?
Yeah.
Yeah, and people were giving it to kids, so it's like, it's good for little children. I had to be really careful what I inject my cows with. I'll do vitamins, that's okay. Do supplements, that's okay. Steroids and other compounds and hormones, I draw the line, and I'm looking at them with a raised eyebrow like, what the hell you're putting into my milk? I don't want pink milk. I don't want green milk. I don't want black milk. Oh, God, then I have to shoot the cow.
Yeah.
I want to say hi to Autistic Prepper. He came in, or she.
Yep. And
well, I was away from the console. Welcome.
Gavin showed up too.
Who did?
Gavin. GM Survival.
Oh.
I have no idea why my nephews mailed me a tongue scraper. And from Hawaii, they
said, got to take one of my pills, and if I don't take it, it makes me feel like crap. So I had to go find them so I could get it inside of me.
Their new business, 3D printed, whatever this, supposed to be mask, easy to wear, easy to dry. I hope they got me.
Is that supposed to be a a mask to keep you from getting sick?
Yeah, I'm looking at that. I'm like, I don't think so. This thing's like,
Is it paper or is it cloth?
it's cloth. It's a 3D printed Aero Silver fashionable mask.
Ah,
Oh,
I told them they
that
just
means it doesn't work.
Yeah, I know. But it's made in Korea.
North or south?
South.
Okay.
I'm not buying anything from North Korea.
how would you know if you were getting it from North or South Korea?
North Korea, their biggest products is counterfeit money, heavy arms industry. If you want to
And
buy a
spam
machine,
bots.
yeah, and spam bots. Remember, you get all those weird bots. Is like that's from North Korea.
Hey, I read an article that that guy that runs North Korea isn't really him. He's a clone.
Nah, it's probably an imposter. That guy had cheeseburgers all the time. Did you know how heavy he got when he was in Switzerland going to a private school? Because the North Korean school were pretty bad. And he
Heard
said,
the what's that guy's name? What is his name?
Kim,
Who cares?
The North Korean guy.
Who really cares what his name is? We just call him the little fat turd.
it's Kim.
Yeah.
Kim.
Yeah, you just add
He's
some
not
other
the
names.
real guy that
Yeah.
they have an imposter in there so the sister can take over.
North Korea is a male-dominated system. They won't let her sister in, and she's like, "Okay, I'm going to kill everybody in their sleep and stab them in the head."
No, they'll let her in as a puppet.
That's what they think. She's more ruthless than all of them because she's like feminine. You know her studies in America. She went to America and she went to Vassar. Her studies were ultra violent feminist tactics. So I think North Korea might go into a regime change or a whatchamacallit, sex change, and you all males die.
It's gonna be all female. Yep.
It's going to be guys and dolls with guns.
Carol's Fishes and Loaves comment there. A big issue now is hay farmers using Grazon, and it lasts almost eternally. It goes through the cow and into the poop, kills your garden. Everything shoots up and starts to die. Yeah,
Right.
you got to make sure that you know. It's kind of hard to track down who's using Grazon, except I know in Idaho here they're supposed to be banning it, that they can't even sell it, and it's in the South. But yeah, they because beef is a big thing here, and the beef council here in Idaho does not want it around. The dairy farmers don't want it around, and yeah, they would rather just yeah. So there's a little bit of other
How does that stuff get
in there
into the
with it.
food without being tested?
Yeah, and see what it is they they spray it on the alfalfa fields, and it's supposed to kill the other weeds and
Froze.
but not the
froze
alfalfa.
again.
Yeah, it's supposed to kill everything else. And all the broadleaf stuff.
So it's put on by aerial sprayers.
No,
No,
tractor.
they've actually sometimes they even put it in with water if they have the big sprinklers and stuff. They mix it in with the water so it gets sprayed. But yeah, they can put it on by crop duster. They can put it on by tractor spraying. There's different ways it can be applied. But it
Right.
is ugly stuff. Either Brett at Broussard Homestead or
Hey, Scotsman.
one of the other ones down there was talking about it, and they had problems. They may have been Gemini Homestead. They had problems with it where they got some manure and it just killed everything. Everything came up and died.
Right. And also cows getting cancer too.
Yeah.
The big problem, that's why we grow our own hay. We don't trust nobody because God knows what kind of herbicide they're using. We do our own alfalfa field and we do our own oat hay and oat field because we do not trust nobody.
Yeah.
And we live in California, so that's proof of the pudding. It's good hay. It's full of foxtails. Go to hell. It won't catch on fire. Your truck's on fire. Those 50 bales are now on fire, and your semi rig is burning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't pull the wool over this old farmer because I could tell if your hay's crappy, it's not dried out properly. I know when it's harvest, even by smell. If I don't smell
Oh,
it
yeah.
right, you're not getting on near my farm or property. Well, not my farm, my nephew's farm. You're not getting close.
Yeah. There's alfalfa, oat hay, and all those. They all have a particular smell to them when they're ripe.
Yeah,
It's a nice smell too.
right. But if they're harvested too late, they smell dry and they will burn.
Carol pointed out it was Deep South Homestead that got a batch of the bad stuff.
And it's going to take them about 5 years to clear it out.
At least.
So when you get any kind of dairy manure, find out what they put into the cows because you're drinking the milk. It's fine milk, and I'm going into the farm.
Yeah, I know the dairy here is half a mile up the road here, and one of the owners, they live here in town, and it's they're very, very particular about their stuff and who they buy alfalfa from, and they've actually been buying up smaller farms, when the people are retiring to run their own hay. That way they know exactly what they're getting,
Right.
feeding the cows.
Oh, another thing on milk. People were asking me how to homogenize and pasteurize. They do have it on eBay and regular channels for tabletop homogenizers. If you're doing other than cheese and you're doing for drinking like goat or private cows, like you have one cow, but you want to pasteurize and homogenize your milk, you could get a tabletop one. They did went up in price since the COVID thing. Oh, sorry about that. Red Dragon thing. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to lose your money. The Red Dragon thing, because tabletop, pasteurization things used to be under $1,000. Gil, look under home tabletop pasteurizers. And I only think there's one that still sell under $600. Everything else is close to $2. Higher price it is, more expensive it is. And for you folks whose digestive system is not used to raw milk, you'll find out when you go to the bathroom.
Let's see what it brings up here. All right. Make sure this is right here. Oh, even on Amazon. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. It runs everywhere from $490 for a little dinky one from Valley Pet Supply.
Right.
Valley Vet Supply, rather, not Pet, up to $5,500 supply company. That's a bit bigger one. That's a bigger one. The Vulcan's K6 ETT 6-gallon one. Yeah, so depending, the bigger the size, the more the price goes up dramatically.
Oh yeah, and also stainless steel. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
You want stainless steel. You don't want plastic. I keep telling newbies about that.
Yeah, there's several from different. There's different ones here, but the Safeguard. It's SAFGARD dual temperature pasteurizer. By Schuler Dairy Technologies, runs anywhere from $409 to $600. Let's see if there's any more of them up here.
It's a stainless steel one made out of America. That's about $1,100.
Yeah,
it has a spigot.
Yeah, there's several different ones here. On Amazon, it's $995 or $959 for a 10-liter milk pasteurizer. So yeah, there's a bunch of them around. You look at them.
Yeah. So
the Safeguard one on Amazon is $540.
right. Safeguard is pretty good. I have good results training the 4-H with that one. If you want to do like small bottles, pint bottles of goat milk or cow milk that you could sell locally within a 50-mile radius, and you have to have your dairy setup clean. I mean, everything has to be ceramic tile, the floor, the sides, not the ceiling. You get that's bypassed, but all 4 walls and the floor has to be ceramic so you could do the pasteurization at home.
Yeah.
And it's fairly easy too.
It's the same one for $540 on Amazon or $409 from valleyvet.com.
Yep.
So it's it only weighs 15 pounds. So that's a small one, y'all.
Yeah, that's tabletop. We're not talking about the 650-pound one.
Yeah, this is a little 15-pound tabletop one, 110. Designed for home use, pasteurizing milk for human animal consumption, heavy duty thermostat, controls, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, 120 volt, 1-year warranty on it. Not 30-day warranty, 1 year.
Yep. So if you're going to do milking cows, Gil, are you going to have one milking cow or are you going to drink raw milk?
Well, when we had cows, we just drank the raw milk, you know.
Yeah, but it's okay if your system's used to drinking raw milk. For people who are not used to drinking raw milk, you're going to find out. That's why toilet paper is so expensive.
Yeah. Well, it only takes a short while to get used to it, especially if you do small glasses at first, not the big old huge beer stein. Oh, I'm having this much milk for dinner.
Yeah, and when you Gil, tell them why you have to shake the milk bottle if you drink raw milk.
It separates. I mean, we had Guernsey Jersey mix cows. We had the big gallon jars of, from the old mayonnaise jars, the big gallon ones. At least a quart of heavy cream on it. The cream was so thick that after 24 hours, separating the fridge and everything, literally I could take a quarter 12 inches above it and drop it, and it would stick and stop in the top of the cream.
Yep. Also, folks, that's where you make your butter from. I keep telling people you cannot make
ice cream.
Ice cream butter, because I have my idiot nephew. We can't make ice cream, Uncle Alan. You have an ice cream maker. What did you use? 2% low fat. Just use water. You can make water into ice cream.
Yeah.
I have to teach everybody, okay? And when you're going to drink that milk, you have to shake the bottle because that has to all blend again so you could drink it. It'll come out smoother. If not, it'll be like 2% low. You know what I'm talking about, Gil.
Yeah. Well, actually, it'd be like if you just pour it off, it's like you're drinking heavy whipping cream, And then when you get down past that, the rest of that
froze.
Yeah, froze. The rest of it below it, that after it's separated, I swear was richer than, quote, whole milk from the store.
Right, but that's from the curds and wheys. People don't realize that milk has several components, and you want the top part for the butter. Cottage cheese is the lower part, and people still look at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, heavy cream's good, but also I like butter. I told Patriot Homestead, if you want, that's also a good seller, is to sell butter. Butter, cream, eggs.
You have to turn the butter.
Not really. We use a paint shaker. You could use a butter mixer. The old TV with the thing and Beverly Hillbillies. That was
And
like
we-
150 years
We
ago.
accidentally made butter trying to make whipping cream, and my older sister was the one doing the mixer, and then she got distracted, and the mixer's just going. I'm watching it get thicker and thicker and thicker. And all of a sudden, it's as it turned into butter.
Yep. Because whipping cream is aeration, butter is solidification.
Yeah.
The oil molecules, once you drive the water out, it'll get denser and denser and denser. Then you have this creamy yellow, almost golden. Gil, you frozen?
No, I'm just
Oh.
reading a chat here.
Okay. It's beautiful if you know how to do it. It's basically you're trying to separate the oils from the milk solids.
Yeah.
So you do
And
that all with that
actually-
machine? You do that all with that machine that you bought?
No, that just only breaks up the fat content and homogenizes it and pasteurize it for legal sales.
And so
cannot-
you have to have another machine to make the butter with?
Yeah. Butter, you could do it raw and it goes to a different one that will separate the liquid, curds, and butter.
Yeah.
And that costs more too. For tabletop,
What's interesting, guy, everyone doesn't realize real butter is white.
yep.
Yeah, I know that.
They start, it was back, I'm not sure, in the 30s or 40s, they were adding the coloring to it, and you could buy a tub of butter, and you get the coloring for it to add the yellow coloring to it, mix it up. My grandmother was pissed at her husband one time, and he just took some Crisco and added the coloring to the Crisco. And put a little bowl of it out there on the table, and he buttered his bread with Crisco.
Well, that's true. That happened a lot during the Depression era because Crisco was cheaper because it's submarine grease, and people put it on but remember, Gil, Butterbills?
Sounds familiar.
It's a dome thing that you put your water and your cup of butter so it stays fresh on the table.
Okay.
It's a Midwest thing.
Yeah. I've heard of it. Heard my grandmother talking about that.
I still have one on my counter,
Yeah.
except it's glass, not ceramic, and I don't use water.
So you
But-
can actually just take and beat the milk and make it turn to butter
Yeah, it'll take you 4 hours.
of
Yeah.
beating it like this?
But usually, what they would do is they would take, they would let the cream separate from it and take the cream and make the butter from the cream.
Yep.
Save a lot of time.
And then the rest of the milk, they use it for cottage cheese and curd because of the whey.
I
And
love cottage
that's where your
cheese.
buttermilk comes from. The buttermilk is the liquid that comes off of the butter.
Yep.
I love cottage cheese. I should learn how to do that. I bet it's really good fresh like that.
Oh, sure. If you like to work all week.
That's what I had those, the pictures of them standing out there with the plunger thing and the little wooden thing and the drain on the side. I say, work it, and drain a little buttermilk off of it. Work it. Yeah.
Yeah. Carol says, yeah, Butterbell does keep it nice and soft and spreadable. And Gil's right on the colorization. Why it turns yellow is it breeds a cow and milk mixture. And two, it's also a bad part. What was it called? Oxidation or rancid. My grandfather told me this, but I don't remember. He ate donkey butter, so.
Well, I know
Yeah.
every time I was at my grandma's house and she put out the victuals on the table, the butter was always white.
Yeah. It depends on the dye, the species. There's a whole bunch of factors. You know, there's 17 countries that don't allow butter anymore, which is weird because of all the hormones and the dyes and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I'm kind of torn whether I want to get a milk cow or not.
You could get a goat, a lot smaller, easier to carry.
Yeah, but just then it's even.
No, that's why you get the little kids to do it.
That's what I was gonna say. Get the kids to do it.
All right. Neither one or none of my kids would do it. They're all adults now, and they go, "No, I'll buy it for the small
Grandkids.
thing." They're too small.
Or you get a goat milker. See the price on that one.
No.
You could hire it done from the community.
Yeah.
The 4-H,
Jay,
get the 4-Hers to do it.
right. Jay, on the cheese, it depends how you age it. Because cheddar is like off yellow, then they add the orange ingredient.
Yeah. But yeah, depending on the breed of cow and stuff, you get anything from pure white to
Off yellow.
slightly off yellow. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
If I'm getting bigger goats, then I might as well get a cow.
Yep. It's lighter than this.
Yeah.
That's the color of the dye they use.
Yeah.
It should look like if I can get my other pad. And my table's full of pads. It's supposed to look like this color if it's natural milk, like a very pale yellow.
Yeah.
That's the type of cows you use. I think it's Guernsey's still white.
You
but
use yellow cows?
no, it's either Guernsey or I forget. It's not Holstein. Holstein's
You didn't
white.
get it, did he, Gil?
No. What Jay said in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Angus cows give you chocolate milk.
You ever try to milk an Angus cow? They're bred for meat.
Herefords are the strawberry. That's what he says.
Right.
Yeah, Jay.
Jay must have been around all them cows. He must be a cowboy.
Right. You know what's the worst milk you could get in the world? Longhorn. I'll drink donkey milk. Okay, you have a longhorn cow and it's very runny milk. Also, they have 6-foot horns on either side of their head. You try milking one.
Yeah.
And it's
The
runny milk.
Longhorns, aren't they the ones that have the, what are they called? Rocky Mountain oysters?
No.
That's any cat. It's any bull becoming a
Right.
steer.
Right, but it's mostly Europeans. The Texas Longhorn came from the Spanish alluvian line,
Yeah.
and they're tough. It says, "Go ahead, kick my balls," and it's that kind of cow. Those cows eat cactus. They're mean. You try to milk a female Longhorn. Oh, look, Uncle Alan's running away from the pasture. Is that a bill? No, that's a milking cow. A Longhorn milking cow that feed the calves. They won't. If you're not a calf, they won't let you near her.
Yeah. I'm just reading the comments in the side chat.
Yeah, well, let's see. I was in my, I think, early 20s, and I had well, she's an ex now. Her family lived way out in the Tules, and they had a farm. And I would go out there and help them brand them and cut off their gonads. We'd have a big party out there, and we'd have Rocky Mountain oysters and hamburgers and
Pass.
Yeah, it's like the same thing I told Courtney about the chicken McNugget idea. Remember, Gil, about the lamb fries?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why McDonald's changed it to chicken meat. I think you'll save a lot of money if you just say all natural lamb fries.
Rocky Mountain oysters aren't that bad.
Yeah, but try to have a kid eat a 6-pack of Mountain Rocky oysters. Here you go, kid.
What?
Your Happy Meal.
Well, you can't tell them.
Like Prepper 111% said, yeah, and it's got the cream filling in it.
There you go.
And Carol says, no, Uncle Al. We're almost top of the hour. Gil, what's your topic for tomorrow?
Topic for tomorrow. Yeah, I got to get that out. Dang, I get a thing on it. Oh, it's a real good doozy. And the answer comes from everybody in the side chat. What is the hardest part of prepping for you? It's going to be a
I'm
real
not a prepper.
It's well, you're still prepping. You know, say prepper, prepping, homesteader, survivalist, gardener, whatever. If you're if you're doing some prepping, what is the hardest part about it for you?
Oh,
that's a cheap answer, but yeah.
Yeah, Carol, it starts at 7 Pacific and just add an hour as you go down.
10 Eastern.
10 Eastern, go backwards. There you go.
Yeah. And Dave from Southern Isle Prepping will be on an hour before me at 9 Eastern, and then we'll roll over from his to mine. And so I'm not sure what he's talking about. It'll probably have something else to do with prepping as well. That way kind of time
I'm sure.
And folks, it was bags, not the F word. Because everybody, Uncle Al, is Dave talking about cigarettes? No, that's a British idiom. And no, he's not talking about homosexuals either. Bags with a B. And they're looking at me. Are you sure? I'm like, yes, they're bags to carry on your back. And it's like my church congregation and adult Sunday school yesterday.
No, we have a topic on Thursday, but I can't remember the name of it. I don't have my book sitting here in front of me. But I have a topic for Thursday, and that'll be starting at 1 o'clock.
Oh, that's good.
1 o'clock Mountain Time.
Mountain time. Always mountain time. I don't care about everybody else's time. I care about my time.
Yep, mountain time. Folks, I still have to do videos. I have to answer on bulk things on grains. 1, make sure it's dried completely. 2, it's not like bulk grains are not like animal feeds. I have to run it through people's head. And 3, do not put it in the plastic containers.
And I have another video coming out. I've got the script done, so all I have to do is shoot it and edit it and put it up there for you guys.
Right. Gil, remember the rats in the 5-gallon buckets? That's why I tell people if you're doing if you're doing heavy grains, you go to Metal. And Uline is having a sale. I forgot their prices, but you could go all the way from 10 gallons up to 55. You want the open top metal release. Gil knows what I'm talking about because he worked in the government. With a sidebar, you pop that up and you pull it off. Nothing will go through that heavy gauge steel unless it's like super rat.
All right, Carol's asking, can I leave my rice in the bags in my home? Usually what we've been doing is we keep them in the bags for a year or so, and then we'll transfer it, so you make sure it properly, any extra moisture is out of it, and then we'll add it to the into a bucket of Mylar bag, and so keep an eye on it, so make sure there's no bugs in it as we're transferring it, and if there's bugs in it, and I froze again. If there's bugs in it, bugs aren't really bad if you kill them, and the easiest way to kill them, you just take that bucket or the bag and you put it in the freezer, and then bring it out and open it back up again. So as it thaws out, the moisture, it doesn't collect moisture on it. You want to make sure you put a little fan on, whatever, but.
Right.
I pre-freeze mine. Yeah, I pre-freeze mine before I put it away.
Right, but you
Like
gotta
when I
be
buy
careful.
it, I put it in the freezer and freeze it, then open it up and put it in the Mylar bags,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
store it into the shelf. And about a year later, rotate that bag.
Right.
That's how I
For-
do mine.
because Rob Painless have rice for 5 years, but he keeps it in a cool, dark place, and he has it in 5 gallon buckets. But you got to be careful if you're going over 5 gallons and you come into Uncle Alan's territory. The rice has to be totally dry. You have to put an oxygen absorber, and you
Right.
have to put a what's the
Desiccant.
word? Desiccant in there. And what I do is I have a long tube and a nitrogen tank. My bags are big. How big are they? They hold 350-pound bags of rice, wheat, or corn that's been
Wow.
properly processed.
That's big.
That's big. That's about 300 pounds. I have a long tube that inserts into the bag before I seal it and inject nitrogen. Then I quickly close it. I heat seal it with. I have a gun that heat seals the bag. That's full of nitrogen gas. Nitrogen gas is heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can buy the little the smaller cans if you're doing small amounts of it. It's like the size of a hairspray can that you can get off of Amazon, and you just put the tube on it, run it down into the bottom of it, and just as and so you're not wasting it. Just forces the air out, the oxygen out.
Right. And don't do like my nephews. Uncle Al, I just put it on full blast. I'm like, you know how much wheat I got all over my kitchen?
Yeah.
Oh, and if you're doing the heavy metal cans, they got a dolly and they have a furniture remover dolly. You put the drum on the furniture moving dolly. I keep telling that you don't put it on cement. You push it around. It's easy to move because it has 4 heavy duty wheels.
Yeah.
And you remember, Gil, we talked about this on one year live stream for Harbor Freight.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
they
Harbor Freight has the if you're depending on what size buttons you a container you're using, they have the cheap little plastic ones, which if you're on cement, roll around just nice. Then they have the next size up wooden one and the full size 24-inch by 18-inch wooden ones too.
That's how I got my snow peas done earlier this year. I put it in a tree container. You seen it, Gil and Will.
Roll it outside.
Because during February where we have all these weird weather, roll it inside, get my hidden light. Is it Hidden Valley or Hidden Harvest light?
Hidden Harvest.
Hidden Harvest, put it on top of there, plug it in, watch my little plants grow. No bugs, no cats. I hate cats. Our neighborhood cats use my damn pots as litter boxes. Whatchamacallit? Everything inside the house, watch TV and watch my peas grow. And when they get to a nice height and flowering, it goes outside to meet the breeze and birds and bees and everything. And then
We start calling you Dr. Doolittle.
but right now I got so much peas, sugar snaps and snow peas coming out of my ears. Already, that's why I don't do these garden challenges, because I cheat.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to plant in the soil. I'm old. I don't want to bend over and drill holes in the ground like Courtney does. I have this power drill and I'm dropping a seedling in there, and I can't do that. I have to use my brains. Got to be smarter.
Yeah, if you have oranges and stuff, if you buy oranges from the store and everything else, when you peel the orange, save the peels, spread the peels over your planters.
Yeah.
Cats don't like the smell of oranges.
Yep, I know that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one too. Yeah. That's an old wives trick.
A lot of people in California remember that craze where they put ammonia into the water jugs and put it on front of their lawn. And I'm looking at them like, what are you doing? It prevents the cat from pooping in our yard. No, it doesn't. Here. What are you doing? throwing orange peels and citrus peels in your yard. They'll never come back.
Yeah.
Of course, you might have a mice and rat problem, but
Oh, Jay. Cats don't like wrist rockets either.
Lord.
Yeah.
But like I said, folks, if you do store grain, make sure you have a manually powered grinder.
You gotta be good with a wrist rocket, Jay.
You
You
haven't
gotta be
seen
able to
Uncle,
hit what you aim at.
you haven't seen Uncle Alan's wrist rocket. It looks like a Flintstone gun. It's on a 4x4, and it has a handle, and it has a big thing at the end, and it takes about these. You know what? Like Jordan or Todd's workshop was shooting
Mm,
20 millimeter steel balls.
Ball
Yeah,
screen.
yeah. You just pull it towards your chin, aim the laser sight, and let go. 20 millimeter steel ball will take care of it.
Hit you right in the chin, knocks you out.
No,
ugh.
it'll probably take off your chin. It goes through a half-inch pine.
Yeah.
Practice
Alrighty.
makes perfect.
Well,
So we're over an hour now.
Yep.
All right, guys. Remember, come see Gil
Tomorrow.
and the
Tomorrow
boys
night.
tomorrow.
Stern.
And I will see you guys on Thursday.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by.
All righty. Take care, everyone.